Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today we have an exciting video. We are just doing an overall market discussion. We are going to be discussing a ton of different products. What are some of the best buys you could be making right now, what to watch out for, and basically how to navigate this crazy market. Whether you are experienced in the Pokemon hobby or just starting out, this video will be for you. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Also, at the end of watching this video or any time that you are purchasing cards on eBay, really appreciate if you guys will click this link. It will direct you to our own eBay store. You guys don't have to purchase from me if you don't want to. Anytime you are buying on eBay, even if it's from a different seller, by hitting this link, you guys are supporting the channel at no additional cost to you. Helps out a ton. If you're also interested in getting wholesale Pokemon products, we currently have a wait list under market pricing on English Sealed for some of the hottest sets. Destined Rivals, Ascended Heroes, Prismatic Evolutions. We have some very useful links there to check out as well. Here we go. Let's get started. Destined Rivals Elite Trainer boxes. Now, this is one of those products where for the longest time it was available. It was just sitting for $100 and nobody was buying the ETBs because everybody was promoting and pumping the booster boxes. If we look at the past year chart, when I was basically, let me see where in the chart we are. This is going to be about fall. Okay, a little higher than 100, 114, 120. Documented price. But if you were buying at the right place, this is just TCG player if you wanted to buy immediately, right? So I'm sure they were around for $10 or $20 under. But either way, 120 bucks. Not that many were selling, 63. If we look here, I mean, we are getting comparable sell-through on the weeks. Not as many, but like the sales are still holding strong. We got like 20, 30, 20. We're pushing over $200. Destined Rival ETBs. The promo's nothing crazy either. It's just the Wobbuffet. But I think the design of this ETB is arguably better than the Pokemon Center one. I like the regular ETBs here with the black on red as opposed to the opposite color scheme with the Pokemon Center box. And again, it just goes to show that when you are buying a good set, fundamentally a strong set. It doesn't matter what product line you're buying, but the best opportunity is always going to be to buy whatever other people aren't buying. So at the time that the booster boxes were skyrocketing, you would have been better off percentage-wise to buy the ETBs. So yeah, just wanted to make a quick note. Obviously, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that Destined Rivals is a very good product, but if you're just starting out and want to kind of learn how that works, there's that. But now, on the topic of ETBs, I wanted to do a comparable between Obsidian Flames and Twilight Masquerade. And there's a lot of things. First things first, this product was a dead product when it came out, okay? You could not sell these to stores like me for $25, $30 because these were like $30 free shipping from some of the largest sellers. So after all of your fees, you would be losing money, okay? Nobody wanted these ETBs. They sat. I pulled the trigger. I bought a lot. I bought, I think, 100 ETBs, which at the time was considered a lot since actually nobody wanted to buy these. Distros were constantly calling you. They were trying to do bundle deals, trying to give you even good stuff to take with the bad stuff. And this was considered a bad product, but I knew long term this would perform because the promo was so good. Now, granted, Obsidian Flames is SVO3, Twilight Masquerade is SVO6, so it definitely is a newer set. But look at the difference in price, $240 versus $90. Now, here's another thing to discuss. Both are the same product line, right? They're ETBs. They're both from the Scarlet Violet era. Twilight should be less because it's newer on face value. But here's what you need to look at. The promo of this one, I don't know if they have it. This is like the Teal Mask Agripan. Nothing too crazy. This one's the Charmander. So the Charmander promo is so much better. But Twilight Masquerade booster boxes are very expensive. They might even be more expensive than Obsidian Flame booster boxes. But what you don't realize is reprints have a very, very big effect on price. In November of 2025, I believe it was, fall of 2025, they absolutely hammered Twilight Masquerade reprints. They did ETBs of Twilight and Surging at the same time, or maybe within like a 1 month window. And ever since that moment, this product line has been struggling. It's still gone up, but there was a time where in the slow market mover of December 2025, we had a little bit of a downtick, like $60. Like that's about as close as MSRP as you're ever going to find. And, you know, people were buying them, but again, it was just like one of those products that like everybody had a surplus of and nobody was buying. When that happens, that is the time to make a move. And these are criminally undervalued right now at $90. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be as expensive as something like Obsidian Flames because far less people were buying at the beginning of Scarlet Violet. When Scarlet and Violet started going, I think it was SVO8 is where the market turned. So Surging Sparks, so SVO6 is 2 sets away. But during this time, the market was still slow. So just seeing that huge discrepancy in price, I think it is a good opportunity right now to slowly start building positions in Twilight Masquerade. And another reason for that, I'm not saying not to buy Obsidian Flames. The reason why Twilight right now is a strong buy as well is because we already know ME4 is going to be Chaos Rising, which is all centered around Greninja. So even though there is no Greninja promo card in this Elite Trainer box, you could pull one out of the packs and it goes hand in hand together. There's still a lot on the market, but this product is going to perform just fine. I was not selling these. I was not dumping these for $60. I set them back because I knew that these should be over $100, especially when you have ultra modern ETBs like Phantasmal Flames is an outlier, I suppose, in Mega, with those being like 130 in ETB. But if you even look at something like Mega Evolution, which is just far newer, I mean, these are like $90 price point. So something as old as Twilight, despite having a reprint, price should be over 100. So Twilight, really good buy. Mega interests me though because the promos of this one are better than Phantasmal Flames. I think the Gardevoir, this is the Gardevoir variant, which comes with the Alakazam. That Alakazam promo is far better than the promo in Phantasmal, yet Phantasmal ETBs are more expensive. So what I'm realizing is the promo is just a value add. The main driver of ETB growth is still going to be, I guess, the fundamentals of a set. So Phantasmal Flames, if you think it's better because it's got the Charizard and the top hit of Phantasmal is better than the top hit in Mega, then it would make sense. But what always interests me was I liked Mega because of, I guess, how nice of a set and how enjoyable it is of an opening experience. But when we're talking like investment or I guess value growth, that doesn't matter. I think people only look at what's the most expensive hit, right? And the Gold Charizard, the SIR Charizard, it's far more expensive than anything in Mega. So even though Mega Evolutions has the value add in the booster box, including the Bulbasaur promo, you're still better off buying Phantasmal because the packs are better. But what's interesting is after Wave 2 of Phantasmal came out, those boxes were just sitting. They were sitting for like $200, $220. Nobody wanted to scoop them up. Now they're $400. Everybody's interested. And it's always fascinating to me how the market, their, I guess, view of a product changes when the price changes. Because nothing about a Phantasmal box or a Mega Evolution box, like nothing about the box has changed. It's just how we perceive that value. So that's just something I wanted to make mention of, but enough rambling about the ETBs. Going something completely unrelated. This is the Lost Origin booster box. Now, this is one that I've been monitoring for a long time. I would have expected by now, with the strength of ultra-modern products like Ascended Heroes, like the recent explosion of 151, even Prismatic Evolutions holding the line despite reprints of ETBs, booster bundles, etc. Sword and Shield has kind of felt stagnant. Now, let's take a look at the chart. It's the first time I'm seeing the chart. Yeah, look at that. Past month, we're negative. Past 3 months, basically flat, up 3%. Past 6 months, it's actually down. These were 800, and now they went to a low of 650. Now they rebound a little bit to 700. Over the past year, they're still up, but looking 6 months, yeah, these have held kind of flat. And I would have expected at this point for them to surge past 1,000. And I think smart money will start buying these boxes up because usually when products don't move in like 6 months and you're seeing all these other sets move, that's like usually a good indicator to jump in and start buying. And I think a lot of people are missing the opportunity right now with Lost Origin because ME5 is Pitch Black, Mega Darkrai. And the Darkrai, I feel, just goes hand in hand with Giratina. Like those as legendary Pokemon just go beautifully together. And I think a lot of people are going to be going to some of the older Sword and Shield era sets. So I just wanted to make a quick note of Sword and Shield. Usually on my videos, I'm focusing on the more modern stuff, what's still in the reprint window or cycle or anything like that. There's no chance we're getting any more Lost Origin product. This is just far too old of a product. Scarlet Violet's already finished. We're coming up on halfway of Mega Evolution. So it's not like there's going to be any Lost Origin product. But it was just interesting to see how all these new people who are entering the hobby, they're only buying the stuff that's like immediately coming out or that's releasing. Nobody is looking a few years back. A lot of smart money is, but not the new people. So just wanted to make a mention of that. Going back to something newer, again, already out of print, I believe. I would be shocked if we got anything else Paldea. I remember they randomly did a reprint of booster bundles. It was a very small amount, but It was just, hey, Paldea Evolved booster bundles. Here's like a last go. There was a really big reprint of booster boxes, but this was like a few years ago. So this wasn't anything recent. But I mean, Paldea, a very resilient product, already over $400. And what's interesting here is Phantasmal Flames is almost catching up to Paldea. And I mean, Paldea Evolved has a lot of value. It's a big set. It's got a lot of really, really unique artworks, illustration rares, like most notably the Magikarp. Magikarp is always one that drives a lot of value. It's always interesting to see how the sets that don't have a very flashy card, how they struggle to grow. And I'm not saying Paldea Evolved is struggling. I think it's one of the strongest Scarlet Violet era sets. But there's no brand name Pokemon. You know, there's no Umbreon, there's no Gengar, there's no Charizard. And people just seem to forget about it. It's like the rest of the set's fantastic. It's got so many good hits, expansive illustrations, etc. But people just care about that big one chase card. You know, like if the Pokemon company came out with a set that is all centered around Gengar, like that would be a home run, you know? So it's just how people are valuing the products. I think people are chasing the hype, and I would stay away. You know, people who are smart and smart with their purchasing, they are diversifying within Pokemon. So instead of going all in YOLO into 151, they're kind of hedging their bets and buying a little bit of everything across different eras, slab singles. You know, when you have that level of diversification, as long as you believe that the Pokemon company is going to continue to grow, you'll do just fine. Now, sure, there are some people that will only buy like one or two product SKUs and maybe they'll do better, but it's risky in the event that that doesn't happen. You know, like imagine if you went all in on Paldea Evolved and you didn't buy anything else, well, you would have missed out on a lot of gains. So that's just another thing to think about. But overall, the boxes are doing just fine. I do see these by the end of the year to pass $500. I would be shocked if they're still in this like low 400s. We might even see something as high as 600. If Destined Rivals continues going at the rate that it is, and that leading the Scarlet Violet block, Paldea Evolved with it being the second set in the block, it will follow suit. Next product we got here, I've made videos about this one. I'm a sucker for these tin products with really cool promos. Good packs inside. I think one of the packs in here is Journey Together, but outside of that, you get Phantasmal and Mega, which is great. But the promo here, Mega Charizard, this is like one of those cards where like right now it might be like a $5 card. But in my eyes, there's no doubt in my mind that this card will eventually be worth $20. And if you're able to get in at $40, like you are basically getting the packs at retail at that point. It just seems like a very strong buy right now. Nobody's talking about it because, again, it's not like a flashy full art or anything like that. But the Pokemon Company has never made full art promos in tins. It's always like EXs. When I look at this configuration of tin, I also look at the success of Level X vintage tins. You know, there's some of them like a Rayquaza Level X vintage tin is like $4,000 or $5,000, right? So this is one of those products that in the short term, it's not going to have gains. But a lot of people don't invest in these types of products. So over the long haul, if your investing time frame is like 3 years plus, this is the type of product where not that many people are going to have them sealed. Because what a lot of people do with these types of side products, like the tins, is they open them up, they sell the packs out, they grade the promos, they sell the promos. You know, they're breaking open the seal. So the amount of sealed product is not that much. And this is also one of those products that I don't think they will be reprinting just due to the manufacturing delays and the supply chain issues and just like all the problems that the Pokemon Company is currently having. Like they can't even print enough prismatic evolutions. So like, do you really think they're going to be caring about this Mega Charizard tin? Like we already have a Mega Gengar tin coming out. They need to focus on printing enough Mega Gengar tins and the Mega Clefable tins. They're not going to be going back to the Charizard tin. So this is a product I like. Again, in the short term, I don't think it'll do very well. You know, last 3 months it's down 30%, but I do think long term this is going to be a home run. And again, it's a Charizard product. Pretty safe bet just from that alone, even if you don't have that much experience, but I had to make mention of it. Last few products, again, circling back to some booster boxes, just talking about what's happening right here. I'm still shocked at how slow growth we have had on Battle Styles. Is it, of this era of boxes, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, is it the worst one? Yes. But Fusion Strike is over $1,000. Chilling Reign, off the top of my head, I don't know, but I'm going to assume it's like $600 a box. The fact that Battle Styles is still under $300 is criminally undervalued. I mean, you guys, we have perfect PP. We have perfect order for $220 a box. And you're telling me Battle Styles, which has been out for like 4 or 5 years now. I think it's like out 5 years. Let me see. Is there a release date somewhere here? I know it's 2021. Right here, March 19, 2021. Yeah, so it's been out for 5 years. and you're telling me that this box is at the same price. Like, the Tyranitar Altar is your best card here. Far better than anything you could hit in perfect order. So yeah, this is a sleeper buy. This is like, it's reminding me of kind of Crimson Invasion or like a Steam Siege, where it's like nobody cared about it, and then like a few years go by and boom, like boxes are like $500 or like $1,000, and then you can't even find any. I have a feeling that the same thing's going to happen with Battle Styles, that it is just going to, at some point, like, you're just going to wake up, oh, Battle Styles is $400 a box. I wouldn't be surprised. On that same note, same thing, Scarlet Violet base. Scarlet Violet base is the first ever set that introduced gray border cards. Prior to this, every single booster box had yellow border, so that in itself already makes this a historic product. In addition to that, some of the illustration rares in this set carry so much value in PSA 10. Like, I remember the Drowsy for some time was very valued. And just overall, the, I guess, expected value of this set, it should be higher than $250. You know, this is another box that I think should be mid 300s. Mid 300s and not any less, like at least 300 for Scarlet Violet base. So, you know, this is such an old product where, again, not that many people were investing, because when these products came out, like, booster box cases were like $500-600. Like, you were able to buy these for like $100, $110 landed to your door. At some point, maybe even less. So it still experienced really good growth. But relative to the current bull market we're in, it just seems like people are so hung up on the new stuff that nobody's going to the really old stuff. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about it, but I think Scarlet Violet base, like, again, it's going to be like Battle Styles, where it's like right now it's just kind of doing nothing. And then there's going to come a time where you're going to wake up and it's going to be a $400 box. And knowing there's sets like Perfect Order that you could be investing in when it just came out, I think you're far better off buying this. You know, it's older. It's got more history to it. The chase cards in this set are better. This one's got the Miriam Trainer card. There's nothing that exciting in Perfect Order relative to this. And the reason why I'm picking on Perfect Order is because it's comparable price range, right? 2023 release, I think. Yeah, March. Yeah, so a 3-year-old set. 3-year-old set versus something that's been out for a month, and it's the same price. Like, obviously, go for the 3-year-old set, right? And then we have the ETBs as well. A set of 2 ETBs going for $250. So your 2 ETBs or 1 booster box. I think I'd rather have the booster box. Like, yes, the promos in these are sick. The design of the ETBs is sick. But, you know, you're getting 18 packs versus a booster box coming with 36. I think for the same price, I would rather have an additional 18 packs versus 2 promo cards. And that's just me. Not to say the ETBs here are a bad buy. I think these, again, historic product line because it's the start of the era. Historically, base set has not been good because people know that within an expansion, the sets are going to get better. Obviously, you guys know that to be true. I mean, look at the end of Scarlet Violet, something like Destined Rivals. So clearly we know that the base set's never going to be the home run set, but it is the oldest one in the block. And for the prices to be the same as something that just came out that we know is going to get reprinted versus this product that we know will not get reprinted, it would be crazy not to be picking these up. So that's just at least how I'm thinking about it. I'm not following the hype. I'm kind of following, you know, long term. Especially if you're investing long term, you want to have the stuff that nobody else has, because the fewer people that have a product, the less competition there will be. And with this ultra modern stuff, everybody's buying it. Sure, the demand's greater, but also the supply is so much higher. Like, there's so many more sellers selling the same thing. So the only real growth would be via demand. Versus a product like this, the demand tends to be pretty constant unless everyone starts FOMOing into it, which I don't think that's going to be the case. But what I love about these types of products is the supply is already so low, you know. Nobody gets excited over Scarlet Violet base, but long term, we know, historically speaking, even the worst of the worst Pokemon sets tend to perform. So I think it's just a safer bet to purchase a product that you know has zero chance of being reprinted versus something that could get reprinted. And also, again, on that note, Perfect Order we know is getting a Wave 2. Wave 2 is going to increase the supply, which will cause the prices to go down. So if you're thinking right now, should I buy a Perfect Order box for $230, $240 or a Scarlet Violet box? I mean, you're so much better off buying the Scarlet Violet. Like, even not talking about growth, but just like risk management and losing money, you have a far higher chance of Perfect Order boxes going down in value. But Scarlet Violet, very unlikely. because there's fewer of them out there. Like perfect order after wave 2, the wave 2 across the board is very high. Boxes might even go below $200. We'll have to see. But yeah, just an overall market discussion, kind of talking about what's happening across multiple different eras, where I see some opportunities. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video, a little bit longer of a video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe here. Again, we are trying to hit that 1,000 subs. Anytime you are buying on eBay, doesn't matter what you're buying. It could be Pokemon, it could be anything. If you enjoy the channel and you want to support without paying me a dime, just click this link. That's all you got to do. Supports the channel at no additional cost to you. If you are interested in getting English Pokemon products under market value, we have some helpful links there as well, and a bunch of other links if you guys want to add us on socials or join the Discord, etc. Links are down in the description below. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate all the support lately on the videos, and with that, we will catch you on the next one.